I'm not giving up.
It seems you're too proud to admit when you failed.
That's not it!
What?
I'm just still working on something, and I didn't want to use it in battle till I was sure it was time. Honestly, I didn't think I'd try it till after this tournament, when I was ready to challenge Lord Beerus again.
Say what? Is he actually trying what I think?
Surely he hasn't discovered a transformation.
Now I'll show you the Kaioken!
At this point, I only have about a 1 in 10 chance of pulling it off. And if I mess this move up, it's gonna do a lot more than just knock me out of this tournament. All the power of Super Saiyan Blue intensified with the Kaioken technique.
It takes a huge toll on him.
Going Super Saiyan strains his body too, and I'm sure that so-called Super Saiyan Blue's exponentially worse. Adding Kaioken on top of that, it's hard to imagine the damage he's doing to himself.
Quadruple! No, it's times 10! Kaioken times 10! No way! So fast! What the?
I don't care how far you push your time skip, it won't stand a chance against what I am now. I gotta end this with one shot!
You're mine!
And we are live. Thank you everyone who is joining us, going to be joining us, or is watching the VOD. And welcome to another Tea Time with Teaman. As you might notice, I'm wearing a bit of a different Super Saiyan jersey today. I got a few reasons why. This, as I'm describing it, is my most prepared disaster stream that I have ever had. Because, well, first of all, let me go show you guys something which I got not too long ago. Let me just do something quick for video. Switch over to that so I can take off the blur. You guys can see it all right. Yep. Please get off. There we go. If you turn your attention over here, that giant crate is the new coffee roaster. And my current battle is going to be figuring out how I can get it out of the box! Back to broadcast. Bam. Let's put this up to at least 720. There we go. That is going to be my challenge for the weekend. Aside from that, my little kitty, Squeaky, she got spayed today. Now, I did not notice, but female cats, when they get their lady testicles taken off, they take a lot longer to cool. Not to cool. To heal. So that's going to be 2 weeks of her living in the bathroom, where she has already made a mess of, because she does not like the neck thing that you gotta wear. Poor kitty, so I gotta make sure that she is okay. I gotta do what I can to make sure that she is doing fine and comfortable and whatnot, but, you know, surgery was a success, so there's that. And so the past 3 hours was dealing with the cat and dealing with the box. Had to quickly jump into the shower because I was just soaked. Because this thing is 70 pounds, dragging it around and trying to open it has been... It's been a thing. Oh my god, it hasn't been a thing. So, I am tired, I am exhausted, I'm almost out of tea. I got my cup and then this. That's all I have left. I do not have time to make anything. I'm hoping that when I start the actual presentation, I will be able to cut it and make it into a video. If it doesn't, I'm probably gonna just restart and do it into a video. But we will see. The crate is legit. The use case for the crowbar. I do not own a crowbar, so I'm just gonna have to keep taking off the screws until something comes loose enough that I can take it apart. I know there's a thick plastic thing that's holding stuff together underneath. Knife is not cutting it, so I'm gonna see if I can get me a scissors that I can do it. It has been a day, but I managed to make myself a nice little presentation. Give me 1 second right here. Got that. Okay. Share. Come on. Not the screen. Oh yeah, brief tab. Presentation 1. That'll work. And I may be a bit slow without responding to people in the chat. I will do my best, but we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, so the main goal of today is to talk about the Dragon's Gem. Now, what is the Dragon's Gem, you may ask? Unlike last week, where the main goal was to show you why a Vtuber company under me was just not going to happen, this is the opposite of that. This is a case of if I get the money, I'm going to do whatever I can to make this thing happen. We'll talk about more about that probably in the next slide, actually. So let me go here. Gonna go to present. Make sure you guys can see it just fine. Good. Excellent. Oh, now the chat is in the way. Actually, no, chat will be fine. I don't think it'll be too much in the way. So, Dragon's Gem. What is it, and what makes it different? There's already a million gems out there. A gem for every street corner. What is going to make my specific gem, the Dragon's Gem, different? Is it just going to be I'm putting up anime pictures all over the place? No. That is not going to be what makes it special. What is going to make it special is something else entirely. But first, who am I? I am a former personal trainer and martial artist. I started my fitness journey at 12 years old, but became engulfed in it at 14. And that went on until 2018. So that is... It's like 15 years of just being... Maid Cafe. No, not a Maid Cafe gym. 15 years of making this my entire existence, basically. Highlights of my career, if you want to call it that, include a 1-2 amateur MMA record at 18 years old, having my arm broken and told I would never use it again due to nerve damage, and eventually gaining use back, and getting an old man out of a wheelchair when an entire team of corporal hospital personal trainers and therapists failed to do so for 3 months. Only took me 3 weeks to get him from wheelchair to one of those walking things. You just call them walkers? I think that's just the basic name for them, walkers. So, that is something. Love, One Piece forever. Thank you for joining us. So that is the basic gist of who I am. Again, martial arts and fitness was a really massive part of my life. I might be a fat ass now, but back then, much, much different. And so while I was working, I had a lot of time to think. If I had my own gym, what would I do differently? What gyms need / what I would do. First off, give people something more tangible. Unfortunately, when it comes to fitness stuff, gonna keep listening while I make some pasta. Okay. There's not gonna be too many images, so this is a good podcast to listen to. Yeah, this is a podcast, I guess. I don't know what else I thought it was. Anyway. So, what gyms need / what I would do. Give people something more tangible. they can't properly assess how far they are getting. Even in my career, when I was progressing, it was really difficult to really judge just how far I was getting. Until I got an injury, I had to take like a month off. When I tried to get back into it, I see, oh, okay. So if this is a starting point, I was much more fit in the past. So give them something to be able to visibly see and maybe even grab onto to have an idea of what is going on with their, their improvements. I would take advantage of modern day tech. What that means is I would design, I can't just say an app because that's a little bit too simple. Design an entire video game, let's say, a mobile game that revolves around my gym. So for all of this, I do not know all of the specifics of how every single little thing will work. Since this thing is one hell of a pipe dream, I have not spent the time working out all the little itty bitty things in it. So if there's things which you might not understand, like how this would work, it'll be figured out after the fact. Congrats, I used to be really good at martial arts, gave it up for writing. Understandable. So, in each machine that we have, it'll get a nice little Bluetooth chip, so it can measure what the people are doing. They'll have the app on their phone. When their phone is close to the machine, it'll pick up, hey, this person is using the machine. It'll see how much weight they're using. It'll see the technique they're having while they're using the machine. And it'll give them some concrete numbers to be able to work with. Possibly, and this one will be even more difficult, is including them in the free weights. So the way I envision it, and with all of this stuff, it is, like you would expect for any other gym, purely optional. You do not need to take part in these activities in order to use the gym. There will be many layers of memberships. So if you want to just go in, use the gym, get out, forget about all this fancy stuff, okay, it'll be one price point for you. If you want to use every little thing, price point for everybody else. So the way that might work with the free weights is when you get all your usual measurements, like your weight and your height, we could also measure your arm length. How long from the shoulder to the elbow, from the elbow to the tips of the fingers, measurements along those lines. So if you're holding, let's say, 2 dumbbells on each side, and you lift them to the side like so, it measures the speed, the distance, etc. I mean, the technology exists. My only concern is how it will stay in the weights and not break when people drop them or slap them or whatever else. Bluetooth may be relatively difficult. Might look at non-recording camera for technique, RFID tags to track reps. Recharging all the Bluetooth things would be a nightmare. We'll figure it out after the fact. Right now, it's the general idea. I know it'll be possible, it's just a question of what route you take to make it possible. And that is the main idea behind this. Machine vision has gotten really good the past few years. We get brain chips, easy solution. I don't think I'll go as far as brain chips. I think that's where I'm gonna cross that line and say no. So yes, the entire gym will be set up like a video game with your personal stats. Again, I don't know the specifics of exactly how it'll look, but I want to give people stats. Flexibility, strength, technique, speed, etc, etc, etc. They'll get a number, and the number will go up as they get stronger. Again, take measurements of limbs. And finally, create gym-wide programs for people, from beginners to advanced. Now, what do I mean with gym-wide programs? I talk about next thing? Yes, okay. So envision it like a video game app, like I said. Daily, weekly, and monthly goals. Personal and or gym-wide. So, aside from personal goals, well, there'll be, again, personal things for you to deal with. Nobody else can see it. You can choose what you want, or you can have us choose for you. And there's also gym-wide goals. Here is an example. I'll give a couple of examples throughout this thing. For 1 month, we're going to have a Viking Raid monthly goal. it'll be broken up into 3 weeks. Week 1, we are rowing towards the island. As you can see in the picture, thank you, Grok. We got a bunch of Vikings rowing towards the island. So what does that mean? Back and biceps workouts will grant bonus points. Rowing specific exercises will grant even more bonus points. So to give some examples, in the upper left corner, we get the nice basic rows. This woman sitting, pulling it, releasing. In the upper right corner, we have reverse flies. The way this works, the person's hands are fully extended. They come all the way out with the non-bending elbows and back. So it's the fly, just reverse. Then we got the bottom left corner. Again, rows using a barbell. And then the dumbbell rows over in the bottom right. So these are the examples of some exercises that will grant you bonus points. They'll not be the only things. So if your specific workout does not align with what that week's goals are, you can still earn points for a gym-wide event. But these will just get you bonus points. So it's not like you'll be doing nothing. So after that, we have week 2, climb the hills to the castle. Since it'll be climbing focused, stamina and lower leg strength will be the main focus for that week. Some examples that'll get you bonus points. In the top left corner, we have dumbbell lunges. Right in the middle, of course, we gotta have the Stairmaster. If we're going up hills, the Stairmaster is exactly what we need. The top right, farmer's walks. All it is, you hold heavy weights, you just walk forward, and then walk back. It's not just walking, there's a specific way you have to walk, tighten the body, keep yourself nice and straight, but you get the idea. Then the bottom left, we have leg extensions, is another example. And of course, bottom right, incline treadmill. Again, all of these things work towards the idea of you going up a hill, charging towards the castle. So a few other things to mention. How would I handle bodyweight / calisthenics? That is something I have not figured out yet. And budget is a thing. I can't have the entire gym be hooked up with like infrared, body measurement stuff. I don't even know the specific names of it. I can't go that far. There's got to be some limits to this idea. But I have to think of some way to handle bodyweight / calisthenics for people who want to work out in that way. The Dragon's Neuralink, with secret built-in kill switch that shuts off organ function if you drink anything that isn't tea. I'm not going to deny it. That sounds like a good idea. So yeah, I need a way to handle bodyweight / calisthenics. Safeguards to keep people from overdoing it. That one is going to actually be a big one. Because we know how some video game people can get really obsessed with getting a high score. There needs to be some kind of cutoff point. So it's not like they're going in and doing, let's say it's week 1, they're doing biceps every single day for 7 days. That's not good. That's going to hurt them. So something will need to be done to make sure we avoid that. The point system. There'll be 2 ways of getting points. One will be based on your own personal metrics, which is a higher percentage of points, as well as overall score. Cap the bonus points? Probably something like that. Again, it's all stuff that I'll worry about that when I cross that bridge. So to give an example, a person whose maximum squat is 100 pounds and squats 80 pounds will give a gym equal or more points as a person whose max is 200 pounds but only does 150. Again, I don't know the exact numbers or percentages yet. This is just a rough idea of what is going on. Yep, the goal is to prevent overwork. Just making sure everything is working on this side. Good. Alright. That's the squat. The option to be presented on the gym TV leaderboards. So if you want to really get yourself some high fives, we can have a thing where we have leaderboards, both in terms of top overall numbers and top improvements. You know, so people who are like just getting into it, they can see themselves on the leaderboards because they're improving a whole lot. People can be like, oh, that's awesome. And of course, that's purely optional. You can turn it off. There'll be graphics, etc. on the gym. including victory screens when the goals are met. So again, we're not going to just have a picture like this up. We're going to have things people can see. So if things are falling behind, I might have a video clip playing of the enemies shooting arrows down and knocking people off, saying, oh no, we're falling behind, pick up the pace. Or if we're doing really good, another screen of the enemies cowering in fear, something along those lines. Something to make it fun. Something where, on both a personal and group gym level, you guys are seeing things happen on screen, so you feel good about it. Like a video game, yes, I am making progress, we are making progress. This is the wildest MMO I have ever been a part of. Let's go. Sounds like it'll be a huge hit with LARPers. I actually didn't even think of that. We could probably do some kind of a LARP-specific activity, I don't know. The gym equivalent of lightning bolt, lightning bolt. However, with all of this going on, we will need heavy gym-to-gym balancing. Because every gym is going to be different number of people, different strengths. I'm going to need to figure out how to do that, because it can't just be a flat number for every single gym. Because if one gym's got 100 people, another gym's got 1,000 people, that's not going to be fair. The 100 people is going to suffer. The 1,000 people, much easier. So it'll probably be some kind of a system where it's based on percentage of people who are going versus total number of people who are actually at the gym. And working with that somehow. Again, specifics, not worry about that right now. So that's week 2. Week 3. I used the wrong tier. Or did I? Because I'm just reading that as tear down the gates. I'm tired, chat. But it should be tear down the gates. So, what's going on with this? Chest, shoulders, and triceps. Anything you need to mimic picking up an item and slamming it over and over again against the door. Grab some of those weighted sandbag balls, throw them against the wall. Axe chops, where you have... I shouldn't call it axe, call it a... What was the name of that exercise? Hammer smashes? Where you have a hammer and you have a tire in front of you, pick it up, smash the tire, smash the tire, smash the tire, over and over again. I can't remember the name of that exercise for some reason. For some reason I'm tired, that's why. But do that exercise and get yourself bonus points. Which made me think, I could probably do impact sensors for these activities. Like if we have a tire for the hammer smashes, we could do it like that. I could have the chips either in the balls themselves for the weighted ball throws, or have them in specific sections of the wall so you can toss them. Something along those lines. Maybe for the punching bags too. I know versions of this have existed for decades. And at this point, especially with AI and whatnot, this would be something possible. Retool Plus, one of those punching bag games? Yeah, something like that. So it is possible. I don't know the specifics, but that doesn't matter. That's why I hire people. I hire people smaller than me in these specific sections. They figured it out. So this is not something which I will be doing every single little thing myself. Fuck that. I shouldn't even be doing this goddamn tea business all by myself the way I am. So, yeah. So, in successors, monthly challenge encompassed a full body workout. So, if you notice, the first week, biceps, back, a lot of rows. Second week, we go to the lower body, do lower body stuff and stamina stuff. Third week, chest, shoulders, triceps. So it's not just for fun. Again, not just me, but other people who are smaller than me figured out ways to turn those 3 weeks into something different, something special. Make it an actual workout so people are getting their workout in. This is excellent for people who don't know what they're doing. They don't know what to do, why, how, etc. Fine, don't worry about it. Just follow the video game. The video game will tell you what to do. And again, this is just one example. This could be done, like this week 3 stuff could be done in a single week. What do we do? How can we break it up? The first one, the rowing, could be done in 2 days. Like the first 2 days you do that. Like day 1, day 2. Day 3, 4, and 5, you could do either the back rows and or the legs. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm facing that bad. So days 1 and 2, it's just going to be the back stuff. Day 3 can be either the back stuff or the leg stuff. 4 and 5 can be just the leg stuff. And then 5, 6, and 7, or 5 can be legs, plus the... You know what I'm saying. God, I should have put this off by a day. I am so tired. But you get what I'm trying to say. Some method of that nature where you can do all the exercise within 1 week. And do something along those lines. But if you don't want to do something like that, we have other things. Oh yeah, wait, before that. The challenges are failable. So I do not want to have a system where everybody always wins no matter what. I want to actually make it a challenge. Make it so people can indeed fail. So when you succeed in the challenge, you're not just going through the motions. You feel like you've accomplished something with everybody else. I don't know the specifics of what I'm going to do, but gym rewards for those who participate. I don't know what those might be. Might be week-long discounts for our supplements. Could be temporary upgrade, like a 1-day upgrade. So if you want to use a specific thing we have, let's say... I don't know. Oh. If I have one of those cryogenic freezing things in the gym, they'll cost a little bit extra. But if your gym succeeds, you'll have a pass to do it once for free. Anytime in the next, let's say, I don't know, 3 months. So people can experience that. Something along those lines to actually reward people for succeeding and doing good. But what about solo challenges? You don't want to take part in all the gym stuff. It doesn't match up with what you're doing. Okay? Solo challenges. Based on your chosen goal. So if you're somebody who's more intermediate advanced, you can choose the general direction you want to go to. Maybe have some kind of a build your own thing. Or we pick one for you. So you're just starting out, you don't know what you do. No problem, we'll do it for you. Tailored based on their physical attributes. So if you're somebody who is, let's say, 5'6" and bouldering 300 pounds, you're not going to be doing any jumping squats. That's not going to be part of your exercises. We're going to make sure that doesn't happen. Taking into account if we figured out the calisthenics problem, taller people have more of a challenge doing calisthenics than shorter people. So finding some kind of a balance with that. Like if you are just starting out, we're probably not going to make you do many calisthenics if you're tall. But if you're short, we can include more of those because, well, it's a little bit easier for you. Something along those lines. And how the bosses / challenges locked behind the fitness level. So let's say this thing happens. I get my gym and we begin. It's going to be a national thing. Everyone loves it. We'll have our own challenges, our own enemies, our own this and that for people to fight. We can also sign contracts with other people. So let's say we have special events where we have to take on certain bosses and fight them. Boom! First challenge, Melania. I team up with FromSoft. We get this boss going, and we set up a workout for you if you were to fight Melania. How would that look, chat? How would that look? Melania challenge. She attacks a lot and is fast. So for this specific one, speed and endurance focused workouts. So let's say lighter weights, more reps, something along those lines. Getting on the bike or a treadmill or a Stairmaster. That'll get you more if you go for longer distances. Things along those lines. Speed punching on a punching bag. Something like that. She has the long reach with the sword. Exercises with large movements are given bonus points. Walking lunges, jumping squats, something along those lines. Like these little things, again, we will tinker with them, figure out what works, what doesn't, but we'll eventually make it work. 2-phase boss fight. So let's say you enter the second phase. Both long form endurance and short form will count. So now if you enter the second phase, there'll be more ways to do your endurance stuff. Very, very quick exercises. Sprints, as opposed to long treadmill walks or jogging. Something along those lines. Other examples. Radon! Let's say you want to fight this big boy. So what does that mean? He is a big boy with big swords. Thick, heavy armor. So quick and fast ain't gonna do it. Heavyweights will give bonus points. 1 rep max and or sets of 3 to 5 will give the most points. So this is for people looking to get their maximum strength up. Calisthenics inspired isometrics. Control gravity. Again, how can I make that work? If we're doing something like martial arts stances, I don't know how I can make that work. If you got weights, again, you have the shoulder raise like that. And just hold as long as you can. Maybe the machine will feel you shaking a little bit. Something like that to get things going. So this is an example of some challenges you can do. Other random points to make about this. We can also get IRL athletes on board, if the money is right. Have folks work out with them, quote unquote. So if they have a specific way to train, we can upload that, and people can try out the same workouts, not with the same weight or intensity, but you get the idea. Or maybe they do have the same intensity. They can compare their numbers to the athlete, etc. So if you think you're faster than, let's say, an NFL linebacker in 400-meter sprints, well, you're going to find out. We're going to see how it goes. Something along those lines. Personal trainers will be available to help on the floor with a maximum set they can help one person. Again, I don't know the specific numbers, but this incentivizes the hiring of personal trainers to still help. Maybe they can only help you once an hour for a specific exercise. Like, okay, you did a good job, I can feel that, I can see the difference. Let's hire them for an hour, type of deal. Personal training usage will give bonus points to gym challenges. So let's say you don't feel like you're doing enough to get those extra points for your gym. Hire a personal trainer. They'll automatically get you bonus points as they make you work out and do it properly. I like this idea because one of the issues I had back with my gym is I didn't do anything until someone hired me. Well, with something like this, I could be walking the floor, I could be helping people. I have to figure out some method of where people can show that they are signed up to be able to do this, or again, specifics elude me for now, but it's not a difficult problem to solve. It's just a question of what's the easiest way to go about it. So that is the method which I will go with. You'll also give personal trainers more room to work and let people see personally how good the personal trainer is. Maybe they see him just once or twice a day and that's all they need. Multiple levels of cost, to talk about this in the beginning. If you want to just do the gym, that is it. None of the challenges, none of the fancy graphics. Okay, you'll be at the lowest tier. No problem. If you want everything, that'll be the highest tier. I don't know how much all this will cost. Again, other people will do the math for me. That is too much math for this Teaman. Something else I wish to do with this is I want a point system for recovery activities, such as stretching, getting massages, nutrition, saunas, etc. There is too much of a focus on... let me think if I should probably word this. I don't want to... Someone might take this out of context. Too much emphasis on the actual workout itself, not enough emphasis on the recovery portion of the workout. Because it is in the recovery in which the improvements really get made. If you work your ass off in the gym, completely exhausted and dead tired, but then you eat like crap, you don't sleep, you don't do anything that makes you recovered, you go out drinking, you're not going to see nearly as good results as if you actually took care of yourself. Think of it in the reverse. The pre-workouts. Not just the drinks, I mean like warming up, stretching, moving around. Like, if you just jump straight into trying to do your 1 rep max for deadlifts, you're gonna die. It's not gonna be a pleasant experience, that's for sure. So you gotta warm up, gotta warm up properly, do things correctly. But then when it comes to the cooldown, people just kind of say, okay, I am done. I want to fix that. Again, I don't know the specifics, but we'll figure it out. HGH, human growth hormone, releases during deep sleep, and you will sleep better on a proper meal. That is correct. Ooh, something I just thought of, actually. I already know there's a lot of programs out there that measure your sleep. I don't know if it's a watch-specific thing or how all that works, but maybe I can incorporate that into the app itself. Again, specifics, it's something that can be done. I just don't know exactly how yet. And then bonus points for doctor's visits. So if you go to the doctor, get blood work, make sure you don't have cancer, it measures your health, things along those lines. Bring in whatever, a signed piece of paper that says, hey, they good, and get bonus points for that. Because again, when I was a personal trainer, it was more than just a job. I actually wanted to see people get healthier. I wanted to see people get stronger. I actually wanted all of this stuff to happen. And so much like the tea business, this is something that exists on a personal level for me. There's a few other things. I could just probably bring up the pictures because I didn't include everything. This went by a little bit faster than I expected. Let me go ahead and do one of these. Bam. You can close that. Let me share screen. Except I can't pull it up like that. 1 second. What is the easiest way to do this? Gym, I got that. Pull you up. Pull you up. You? I thought there was another one I took. Maybe not. I'll just pull you up. Okay. 1 sec, chat. 1 sec, 1 sec. Slide screen. It's not a screen specifically I'm looking for. It's not slides. It's not a video. Could I do it like this? 1 second. Open with. How is Brave not on here? Illustrator, Paint, Photoshop, Photos, Acrobat. I don't want to use Firefox. Choose an app on your PC. Why is Brave not one of the choices? What the hell? I actually didn't even know I had Firefox still up. You know what? Fine. Do Firefox. Doesn't really matter. Okay, go here. Doom. Back in my day. Daily mile walk. Alright, share, screen. It's a Brave tab. So why only Brave? Oh, because this is on Brave, I see. Oh, I can just share a window. There we go, perfect. Share. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can, good. Alright, so this is one of the things. Fighting a dragon. That could be one of the personal things where you have to take on a dragon. And at one of the points, this is a really shitty picture. It's the best I could do with Grok. But as you're going, he is flying. You'd hang on the scales. Something to work out. Your pull-ups, grip strength, things along those lines. So if you put in, I need to work on my grip strength. I need to work on my pull-ups. And things along those lines, it'll pull up this fight with the dragon. You take him on. I'll give you the exercises. Hang on to the scales. Oh, what else did I have in mind with this one? Can't know it off the top of my head. But these are some of the ideas which I wanted to do with this stuff. So that is the Dragon's Gym in a nutshell. Of what I wanted to do, what I still want to do, with this gym idea. There's also one other thing I didn't put on here. But even before the Dragon's Gym concept existed, something I still want to do, and I don't know how it would work, engineers can figure it out, is invent a new type of machine for working out. So let's say, a typical chest press machine. You sit, you hold the weight, you press, and you come back. Press, come back. We all know that one. You also know the other one, a row machine. You grab, you pull it back, and you release. You pull it back, and you release. I want to invent a machine that lets you do both at once. So you begin, you do the chest press, it locks. And you're still working out, now doing the back rows, it locks, probably with a different weight. So you're working out, and you're working out again, and again, and again. So you're working out both sets of muscles at once when you're sitting down to work out. And for the sake of saving space, you could probably set it so you could just do chest press and release, chest press and release. But I want a machine like that to exist. Because that is a type of exercise, I forgot a specific name, but it's when you do, let's say, a whole bunch of bicep curls just over and over and over again. The second you're done, you grab tricep extension, you go straight to that. I want to create a machine that lets you do that, but one after the other, after the other, after the other. I've wanted that machine to exist for over a decade now. I've not seen anyone try or talk about it. I want that machine to be a thing. But again, this is all just pipe dream talk. I don't really expect from me at some point. I think they make those for home gyms for like 5K. I have not seen anything like that. If you can link me up, I would love to see it. But I don't think that this idea exists yet. Yeah, this is all just pipe dream talk. Oh, let me get the chat back on the screen. I'll just exit that. There we go. It's all pipe dream talk because such a thing would be very expensive. I would need to be at a point where I pretty much have the Dragon's Treasure working on just automation. Let me rephrase that. Not literal automation where everything is AI, but all the workers are doing their own thing and I am no longer needed. When I get to that point of the business, then I can move on and do something else. But again, that's a bit of a distant pipe dream, unfortunately. I do not see it coming to fruition. And this stream has been quite small in terms of viewers, as I kind of expected it to. But if some crazy chance, some gym guy who has a lot of money sees this and decides to steal the idea, well, so be it at that point. I can't really lay claim to the idea. And even if I could, what am I going to do? Hang on to it until I die? That's not how these things work. But if somebody can make this world a better place and the fitness industry a better place by doing this, I'll be happy. That's the way I view such a thing. But again, it's all just distant stuff. But it's one of those things where sometimes I just like to just sit back, rest my head, and think. If I had that gym, what it would look like, how it would be set up, would it have multiple stories, how much it would cost, all the things I would do. It's a nice thing to think about. Yep, this definitely was much faster than I expected. Again, my fatigue probably didn't help. So again, the last 3 hours of everything has just been a constant go, go, go. And so I am wasted. Tomorrow, I'm actually not going to be messing around with the machine. I am taking a full day off. No work, nothing of the sort. I'm going to touch that. Get it. Complete rest day. Friday will be half a day rest, where I will rest but also do a bunch of cleaning. Then, Saturday, Sunday, I can mess around with the machine, I can touch things, I can move things around, I can do whatever I need to do. But just... I am tired, friends. I am extremely tired, like you would not believe. Both in terms of business stuff, behind the scenes stuff, dealing with the cat, all these other things just has me... you know, next level tired. So with that, my friends, I think that pretty much covers everything I need to say. Actually, before I do, if anyone has any questions about this whole thing, feel free to ask away. I'm going to take a few minutes to look around elsewhere and see what's going on. But if you have any questions, let me know and I can try and answer them. Okay. Go back to here. I can imagine. Alright, so I think that is pretty much everything. I can't think of anything else. I'm sure there's other things. Let me check my notes. Boss battle, we're done. Oh yeah, another one was a boss battle with a Bowser. If I can do stuff with Nintendo. So emphasis on jumping and jumping muscles, twisting and twisting muscles, as well as throwing. Would you include classes like MMA? Yes, and I also count those towards the events as well. And then let's say it's like a lower body thing. Let's say there is, not yoga, but Pilates. You know, that week of Pilates can have a more emphasis, more focus on the lower body. And so things along those lines. You know, have those classes work for the goals as well. You'll get some formal points, you don't know how many. Yeah, all this data. Are you going to figure out a way to calculate a power level? Maybe? That would not be a bad idea. People love power levels, so that could definitely work. Was that all the things? Yes, it was. Just make sure that was actually all of the presentation. Yeah, I was not as high energy as I would have liked, so I'll probably end up doing it again. Just like offline, and then uploading a version like that. Something with a little bit more energy, but not this week. Not this week. Yeah, a lot of people don't know the seriousness of my fitness / personal training life back in the day, or martial artist life. The way I put it is that the amount of passion that you think I have, amount of passion and knowledge, etc., that you think I have for tea and tea making and all the other stuff, it pales in comparison to what I was with the martial arts and fitness. It's not even close. Not even remotely close. Like, the Teaman persona is definitely a distant plan B of what my life was going to be like. I was a very different person back then. That could actually factor in doing different types of training. Just lifting would count for a portion. Speed on a track would count for another factor in the equation. Yeah. Could definitely do something with the power levels. Never went a personal route. I used to free climb though. I could have a yeah, I could do a rock climbing wall as well now that I think about it. Have that be some kind of I don't have to worry about the points right now. I keep doing that. I keep trying to think of exactly how many points all that stuff is gonna be before I. Oh, you tore your shoulder. Yeah, that would end it. That's with a broken arm. Alright. So with all of that, I need to rest up a little bit. I need to check on Squeaky, make sure that she is doing okay. I know that she made quite the mess actually in the bathroom, so I'm gonna need to clean that up and make sure everything is okay. And yeah, thank you all who have joined us, going to be joining us next week. I have some ideas of what next week's Tea Time with Teaman will be, but I'm not gonna put anything in stone just yet. I gotta see how things go. And so with all of that, thank you all who have joined us, and I will see you next week. Farewell.